Hi friends, MD Vegan with a new dressing with a variation of my macadamia mayonnaise. I have a macadamia mayonnaise. I make mayonnaise regularly with avocado. That is a nice fatty plant, and to bring it together with nuts is a nice base for a mayonnaise. Nuts are already fat. Of course, avocados are even fatter and get a nicer, creamier mayonnaise-like texture. So I blend good healthy portions at a cup of macadamias. I make a little bit more than for one portion. I make my dressing ahead of time a little bit so I can use it for several salads, saving time. So and a half an avocado, not too much, is needed, just a little bit. It also has a unique flavor, the avocado. Adds always a special flavor to a sauce or so. So that has to be, and it's nice macadamia, I think, but they have a little bit a savory touch. So that works. So the base of the mayonnaise, so macadamias and avocados. And then in my other macadamia mayonnaise, I used apple cider vinegar. I like that especially for mayonnaise because it's a little bit more biting, the cider vinegar, than the lemon. But in this case, I take lemon because I want to use a special variation for the flavor. Half a lemon here to begin with. I want to use herbs, green herbs. They are used in the Mediterranean, but all over the planet. Now I have here, I show you better here, this one, dill and rosemary. This is almost a bunch of dill, only the leaves, the little twigs here, not the twigs, the leaves, the tips. I use them, and a good amount of rosemary. Both are very potent green herbs that are well known in every kitchen. They should be there. And dill especially is from South Asia, to be precise, but now it's everywhere. In South Europe and Mediterranean country, where all these green herbs usually come from, that we use, many of them, not all, many, they're famous. Even the fighters in the arena, they have used them to heal their wounds, dill oil. They also use it today for if you have a stomach ache or problems with digestion, you have a gas or something. It's calming down. Dill is a calming herb, and it's a very nice. It's a little bit of sweet flavor. The fresh herbs have a little bit sweeter than the dried herbs. You can use them, and wonderful. It's called a cucumber seasoning, cucumber spice, because it's always in a cucumber salad. Not always, but oftentimes in professional cooking. It's classic. It's wonderful, and but it's also in many salads and other dishes. I like it especially, and I combine it with rosemary, the other strong herb here, because I show you again. It has a similar shape. The needles here have needles. Dill has a needle, and this rosemary has a needle too. But these here have very hard stems. I have taken them off, just the needles for my dressing. The stems are like wood. You can't use it. And they would make the whole dressing like a nightmare for the mouth, the tongue. Very strong texture, like wood. To take the needles off, that's important. But you can take also the dried herbs if you have only dried. Highly recommended. The rosemary has a completely different benefits or effects than dill. From dill, rosemary is the classical herb for memory in the classical scriptures. Also in the Shakespeare, the famous Hamlet. There is a page where Ophelia says famously, and that is the memory herb. So rosemary is also, meanwhile, scientifically researched. It makes the memory better. It makes the mind faster. You can really wake up your mind with that. And it pretty much, I think, that fits together. I had a feeling to combine rosemary because I had seen a beautiful bunch of rosemary in the health food shop. I had to take it. I had to take it. It was so beautiful. And I didn't know what to do with it exactly, but then I came to my mind, why not combine it in a new dressing with dill? Dill is calming and peaceful, and rosemary gives you a power of the mind. So calm stomach, yeah, good digestion, and a powerful mind. That sounded to me like a perfect combination, I would say. Of course, more important, the flavor. The health benefits are, well, you have to experience yourself. The flavor is something you have directly, but also rosemary is researched. That is a fact, a scientific fact. So I have these two herbs here, and so I put the rosemary right in, yeah, just the needles, and from the dill I only take the stems, yeah, because I want to put the needles last. I want to pulse them into the dressing, not really blending them, because I like the shape of the dill needles. They are so nice when they are seen as tips, little dots, little green dots in the dressing. That's a beautiful picture. So I usually do that. I put them later in. So the stems here, they are soft. I can blend them, as opposed to the stem from the rosemary. They are really wooden. You can't use them. They are very tough. Yeah. But the dill stems, they can be blended right away. So I have the main ingredients here: macadamias, avocados, lemon, dill, and rosemary. That's the base. And now I want to make it a little bit, season it up a little bit to give it a more powerful, note. And for that I use usually pepper and salt, classic for Mediterranean flavors. Pepper and salt is really a nice black pepper and Himalayan salt I use usually. I have some garlic. Yeah, that's for mayonnaise here. You don't need to do that. Some people don't like it. You don't just leave it away. No problem. I would like it here now. It's also very good and healthy. And ginger. Ginger is also classic for Mediterranean herbs and spices and flavors. So I put ginger and garlic here together with pepper and salt. The classics. That's basically it today. I will put some water and start the blender. Let's see. I have to do a second blending anyway. Macadamias are very firm, so I need a second blending. Or else I would have to soak the macadamias ahead of time, maybe a night before, but still they're heavy to blend, and I usually do a second blending with macadamias. So first now, blender ends. Come on. I made the dressing already in another recipe. You can watch it. It is a video that must have come out already. It is with the cucumber salad. Of course, that is pretty. It's not surprising that I use the dill, rosemary, macadamia mayonnaise with the cucumber salad, and that's when I made it first. Tried it with the cucumber salad, and I liked the dressing so much that I said, okay, make an own video with it. It's so good. I like it so much. So, yeah, here's the video now for the dressing on its own, and I will make more salads with it. I don't know yet what, but I have some ideas already. Well, I will show you later then. But now let's taste it, check the flavor. I can refine them before the second blending, and in the end I put the dill leaves in. Yeah, the texture is pretty thick. I have to use a little bit more water. So mayonnaise is it's similar to a salad mayonnaise, a special form of mayonnaise. When you use a salad mayonnaise, you make it a little bit runnier, because the salad usually needs a little bit lighter dressing. Mayonnaise, in the strict sense, is for things that are firm and crunchy. Put mayonnaise on that. That is a different texture. But here it is still this firm texture, so I might use it with a bit more water. Let's see. But the flavor now first. Yeah, could be a little bit more salt. I think I have a little bit of salt here. Put it on the hand first. Yeah, it's a lot dressing, so I have to use more salt. I was careful in the beginning. The pepper is nice. The pepper now comes out in the background. It's good. And I guess the rest would be the salt can change the tone of everything, because the salt is that what makes the whole physiology work. You know, the cells, our body cells, are mostly filled with water, and for the nutrients to go in and out of the cells, the water is needed, and the salt regulates how much water goes out and in. So for that, salt is really vital. And the same effect, I guess, plays in a recipe. You give a different tone to a recipe by salt, because it is all about how the nutrients float in the body and on the tongue. And so salt is there, makes it a big difference, can change the whole ambience. I guess that is for that reason. I'm not sure, but that's my guess. So here a little bit more salt, and of course more water. As I said, it's too thick. Just a little bit. And to give it one more blending. I see clearly that now, after the first blending, the rosemary, also a very firm herb. Yeah, the little leaves are very firm. They need more blending here too. It is still a little bit coarse, and by blending, breaking it down, it gets smooth, and the flavor also gets more homogeneous and wholesome. So I do that now again. Second blender dance. Looks nice, creamy, runnier. That's the texture I would like. It's okay, but the flavor, was the salt enough? Is it now smooth and really a nicer flavor in all overall? Let's see. Now the flavors of the herbs, they come to bear. That's really good. It's a very gentle flavor. There is the heat from the ginger in the background. Not too much, not predominant. It's very nice, it's warming in the mouth. Also these herbs, especially rosemary, I would say has a warming effect. And the more it breaks down, blending it smooth, because very strong herb, as I said, the more it releases these flavor molecules, these nutrients, the phytonutrients. Flavor is also a nutrient, we learn from modern science. And the more they get released, the more wholesome the flavor becomes. And now I feel everything. Oh yeah, it's really nice. It's oftentimes when you make a dressing with herbs, especially when they're dried, but also when they're fresh, the flavor comes to bear only a little bit later. They unfold. That's happening here too. I'm very happy about that. But it has still a little bit more to break it down, a little bit more creamy it has to be. It's still a little bit coarse, and that also adds a lot to the flavor. Let's see, one more, blend it in, and then I might be able to add the dill. I'm really curious now. It's beginning to get warm a little bit. That also helps with blending. I'll put it in the refrigerator anyway afterwards. So, but even in some dressings, they win when they warm a little bit up. That is sometimes, it always depends, but usually I want to use it not when it's warm, but the blending, that is nicer, easier when it's warm. It breaks down easier, the nutrients, they diffuse easier, and yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's still creamy, But it's okay, I guess it's a mayonnaise, a salad mayonnaise. Let's taste it, that's most important. See, there we go. It's okay. So that's it. I can now put in my tips of the dill. It's about a bunch of dill. Put it in, and we'll just pulse it. As I said, I don't want to blend it all the way. I just want to see. I want to still see the little tips. See? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's still there. That's good. Taste it again. Rounding up more and more, getting fuller and fuller the flavor. First it was a little bit flat, but now with time the flavor unfolds with a nice flower that opens and blossom. It's a wonderful dressing. It's a very, very gentle, it's not, yeah, I want to say it's a very decent flavor, I would say. Well, decent, no, I don't really know the right word. It's a flavor that's not pushing forward. It's a flavor that folds inside. As it's yeah, it's interesting, really nice. Hidden powers, I would say. It's really nice. Yeah, you gotta try it. I recommend you. Very nice. Look what it's like. It flows into the glass here. That's my container. Always have a lot of these glass containers here with a lid, so I can easily store the dressings. Let's say up to a week, maybe 4 days for sure. Yeah, and I would be careful because at a certain point the dressings should be used, otherwise they might turn bad. Yeah, it begins with the lids. Oftentimes when you have used lids, yeah, you have to cook them to make them really clean, otherwise it gets dark spots inside. And so 4 days is easy. A week oftentimes works, you have to check, but I can make some salads with that, and that's what I need to save some time on my day-to-day kitchen. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my video, subscribe, MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.